Good afternoon, my awesome friends and followers and my impeccable group of members on the channel. Thank you all very much for your continued support as we continue our journey on YouTube. So thank you. As you can see by the thumbnail, I've decided, do you know what? I've never done a video on Bear Grylls. And I thought, you know what? Why not? Has Bear Grylls ever helped me? Of course he has. So why not do something nice? And there's a lot of things you don't know about Bear Grylls, believe it or not. For instance, did you know that Bear Grylls turned 50 this year? He was 50 in June. And he was born in a place where I used to hang out growing up. I bet none of you knew that Bear Grylls was from Northern Ireland. He was born in a place called Donaghadee. Yep, just out past Newtonards, past Bangor. Yeah, a beautiful place where I used to love going at weekends. So there's something you didn't know. Amazing. And his name's not Bear Grylls. I'm sure you all knew that anyway. He's actually called Edward. Now, there's a reason behind being called Bear Grylls. He was christened Edward Michael Grylls, but he called Bear Grylls many years ago. I know this because I spoke to the individual. There was a guy who was doing adventure stuff on television. He had his own show. I don't want to highlight this individual, but this individual that was doing a show and had signed a contract with the likes of Discovery got injured. And they were looking for someone to replace him. And believe it or not, Edward was very good on camera. He did a screen test. He was really good, but the name Edward Michael or Edward Grylls didn't go. So he came up with that, Bear Grylls. And as you know, he's become a global success. Over the years, Bear has been involved in dozens and dozens of charities. Believe it or not, when he was 35 years of age, he actually took on the role as Chief Scout. And it went global. He did that for 15 years. He's only recently actually handed the reins to a younger adventurer as he starts to move on, because he's involved in so many different things. Now, if you weren't aware, Bear Grylls, as you know him, served, his military service was only 3 years. It was cut short. And it was in 2-1 SAS, which is the part-time territorial side of the Special Air Service. Now, many years ago, Bear Grylls was involved in a horrific accident, if you didn't know. And this is the reason why his military career was cut short. Bear Grylls was into free-falling and parachuting, as you can see what he does today. But believe it or not, Bear Grylls was involved in an accident where he was free-falling 16,000 feet and his chute failed to open. He's one of the very handful of individuals to ever survive such a fall. He actually broke his vertebrae in 3 different places, and it took him quite some time to recover, which then resulted in the fact that he couldn't carry on the service that he wanted in 2-1 Special Air Service. Now, since Bear has retired from service due to injury, he's went on to recover and become this global type adventurer. Now, he has set a few noses out of joint along the way because he has become so successful. And the fact that he never really alludes to much, he keeps his politics to himself. However, back in 2020, he did state that he would have preferred that we stayed, and he was part of the Remain camp for the Brexit. But he doesn't get involved in politics, and that's why he doesn't share many posts online. When it comes to him on social media, he keeps a tight-knit group because he's attached to so many different charities as ambassadors and patrons that he can't be seen to take any political side, because then it will be used against him. He does great work straight to this day. I think it was about 5 years ago, I was going through a bit of a tough time actually, and he reached out to offer support and other bits and pieces, and he's been a great ambassador with military veterans. As I said, he doesn't get involved in politics. But I am going to say this. Whenever I was first writing my book, First Into Singing, I was struggling. I didn't know which direction to go. And I sent my book to Bear, and he read it, and he gave me an awesome review. So if you go to the back cover of my book, First Into Singing, you'll see a review from him. He also, whenever my son was only 7 or 8 years of age, because he supports a lot of people, he sent my son this. signed by Burr. So he supports a lot of charities, he supports a lot of people, and he does great work. One of his mottos is in a book over my left shoulder: never give up. And every time he sends messages, he'll always end it with a never give up. And I just thought I'd let you know a little bit about Edward Michael Grylls, and I hope that you've learned a little bit today. Thanks for watching my YouTube channels, and stay safe.